Good morning and welcome to Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening Sunday morning service. I'm Reverend Christy Snow and we are glad you're here. Show up and be love, be the smile you're dreaming of. We're here to give and receive love. Won't you show up and be love, be that heart you're dreaming of. We are here to be love. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, you are, oh, you're welcome here. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, you are loved and wanted here. So show up and be love, be that heart you're dreaming of. We're here to give and receive love. Won't you show up and be love, be that smile you're dreaming of. We are here to be loved. Many rivers, just one well, all unique expressions of life. When one is silenced, I'll be a voice. I will stand beside you for what's right. So show up and be love, be the smile you're dreaming of. We're here to give and receive love. Won't you show up and be love, be that heart you're dreaming of. We are here to be loved. You gotta be it if you wanna see it, all that love you're craving in the world. We're the ones to make the difference. We're the ones that we've been waiting for. So show up and be love, be the smile you're dreaming of. We're here to give and receive love. Won't you show up and be love, be that heart you're dreaming of. We are here to be loved. Yeah, we are here to be loved. We are here to be loved. All right. Turn to someone and say good morning, virtually, of course, through the comments, and let someone know that you see the light and the love in them. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. I see you for the light that you are. I see your light, I see your love, I see who you are. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. Oh, I see you for the light that you are. I see your light, I see your love, I see who you are. When I first wrote that song, I wrote it as a prayer. So as we segue into a time of prayer and meditation, let's hold ourselves in our mind's eye and see ourselves as light and love. See all those that we love and those that we're learning to love. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. I see you for the light that you are. I see your light, I see your love, I see who you are. I see you, and I recognize. I recognize am consciousness. I recognize it in myself. I recognize it in you. And so I just breathe into the truth that there is one power and one presence. And that this power and this presence, the I am, that I am, is moving through my life, expressing as my life. It goes out before me and paves the way for me. I am God meeting God in the street, in the bathroom mirror. I claim this and I live this. Love meeting love. My beliefs meeting my experience. God meeting God. I am that. I am. And I just rest in this awareness this morning. I rest in this awareness of one. One power. One presence. One infinite indwelling spirit. This one divine love. I claim that I am a vessel for this love. I open my heart and my mind and I allow my life to be an expression of love's presence. I allow myself to be love's ambassador, love running out to meet love, living from an expectancy of good, an awareness of God. Thank you, God. Thank you for living and breathing and moving and having your being in, as, and through me. In, as, and through everyone and everything. I am that I am. 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 I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am.
Today's reading comes from the Science of Mind magazine, the entry for January 24th. And it is about a topic that has become both more difficult and more important to us in recent months, and that is connections. The first quote is from The Enlightened Heart. You are our true life, luminous, wonderful, awakening the heart from its ancient sleep. And the second quote from The Science of Mind, nothing can hinder the man who knows that he is dealing with one power that creates all from itself. Considering our metaphysical belief in the unity of God and all life, our thoughts are going to be centered more on connections than separations. Many of the forms in our lives seem to need separation to function, but the nature of life moves unerringly towards connection. We may be singular individuals, but we need one another for support and healthy living. Through our connections, we so often sense the infinite presence, and it is often through the high points of shared worship that we experience God. Since there are so many of us sharing life on this little blue planet, it is indeed wise and workable to engage in loving inclusion of our lifestyles for right use of space and resources on the earth. If we choose to think of ourselves as connected beings living in shared well-being rather than separate entities always in competition for scarce resources, we will continuously discover the means for enoughness for all. In fact, we have certainly done this for years, somehow recognizing our connections even without much thought. It is time to recognize our infinite connections to the One, so we truly live as God's blessed heirs. The affirmation for today: in deepest peace, love, and gratitude, I give thanks for the gifts of the Spirit that come to me each day. I revel in my oneness with God, and I see this extended in my unity with others. Please find ways to stay connected with each other, and I look forward to the time when I can see you up close and personal again. Namaste.
The first 3 chapters in the book, The Science of Mind, are the thing itself, the way it works, and what it does. The thing itself is that spiritual source of all that is. The way it works is the creative process from spirit through what we may call scientific or spiritual law into what it does, the result of the creative process, this world of form all around us. That these are three aspects of the wholeness of reality and all of life. And that once we get a sense of those, then there is the fourth chapter, how to use it. And I have a quote from it. The sciences are objectively real to us only insofar as we demonstrate them. And until demonstrated, they are merely suppositional. In the metaphysical field, we can only know as much spiritual truth as we can prove by actual demonstration. And one thing that helps me to understand how to use it are some simple diagrams that are in the back of the book, The Science of Mind. And they are circles that are the wholeness of life, and you can see that they are divided into three sections. The top being the thing itself, spirit. The middle section being the way it works, the law, the creative process. And here at the bottom, it is the manifest universe. And you see that there's a V in it. So it goes from spirit through law into form. And it is important to know the direction of the creative process is always from spirit to form and never the other way around. And anytime I am facing a difficult challenge, I may ask myself, is my circle V upside down? And invariably it is. That is, that it is to be from spirit through belief into circumstance, but instead I find myself doing this. I'm looking at something and, oh, nah, that's messed up. That's bad. Therefore, I limit my beliefs toward looking at the problem and feel frustrated, afraid, and so on, and therefore I am inadequate and unsuccessful. Fortunately, I know something about how to use it, which is to turn my circle V right side up. And then I can say, I know that there is one infinite spiritual presence that is all life, intelligence, energy, creativity. It expresses its perfection into all that is, including me. I am made out of this spiritual energy. And I awaken to a greater idea of myself and the wholeness of reality and all of life, and to a greater idea of that which I desire. And as I do, I know gratefully, with a deep confidence, that it expresses into my experience. I am so happy to know this, that I release my word, and so it is. That is how to use it.
Thank you, Reverend Ned, for another wonderful Back to the Basics lesson. I've really enjoyed those this month. I'm really enjoying them. I've asked Ned to do one more next week, so thank you so much for that. And Rita, so good to see you this morning talking about connections and sharing a reading with us, so thank you very much. We are doing something in the classes that I'm inviting all of you to join us in. When we first started our center, the very first month, one of the first things we did as a community is we embarked on the Complaint-Free Challenge. And the Complaint-Free Challenge is you do your best to go 21 days without complaining. And we had to start over a lot in the first few weeks of class, but I feel good this week. I feel solid. I think people I think we're dedicated. But anyway, we invite you to join us in this 21 days consecutive. Sometimes that takes 6 months. Sometimes Rita did it in 21 days when we first did it. So there's no judgment there about how long it takes you to do it. So the thing is, you go 21 days consecutively. So that means if you do so great for 20 days, but on day 20 in the eve of day 20, you start going on a complaint rampage, then you have to start over. So we were doing this and in that first year, and something happened, and I just let out one of these, oh, for the love of all that's holy and perfect and true and good, I just say thank you for being present in my life. I switched it, what was going to be a major complaint, into a gratitude. I just flipped it mid-sentence into a gratitude, which is a tool that you can use. So anyway, I'll talk more about that later, but that's how this song came to be. The song is called All That's Holy, and I realized, that's what we want to stand for. We want to reflect the beauty of the holy, the beauty of the holiness. Yeah. So anyway, I had the opportunity to share in a meditation for our country on Wednesday morning before the inauguration, and with other ministers around the Northeast. And so anyway, they asked if I had a song that had peace and power in it. And I thought, I don't think that All Is Holy song is finished yet. So I added a little bit to it. And here it goes. Okay. Peace is powerful, real power is peaceful, and faith really can move mountains. So wherever you stand, be the soul of that place. Wherever you stand, be the love of that place. Wherever you stand, reflect the wholeness of the holy. For the love of all that's holy, for the love of all that's holy, for the love, the truth, and the holy, for this I stand. For the love of all that's holy, 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 I stand. Let the beauty of love be what you show. Let the power of love shine through. Bring your whole self to life, and life rushes to meet you. To thine own self be true. For the love of all that's holy, for the love of all that's holy, for the love, the truth, and the holy, for this I stand. For the love of all that's holy, 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 holy. For the love of all that's holy, 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 I stand. Wherever you stand, be the soul of that place. Okay, so for the love of all that's holy, for the love, the truth, and the holy, for this I stand. I'm here to reflect the wholeness. Yes, yes, yes to that. So I was trying to think of an image to put with the Facebook event that went with reflecting the wholeness, and I put into the search engine, reflection in the mirror, and it pulls up this cat just like chilling and leisurely looking at itself in the mirror like, what's up? This cat's just like full of itself, right? Looking in the mirror. And I thought, that's perfect. It's adorable and it's perfect. And then after the fact, I realized really how perfect. I don't know if you're a cat person or not, but I used to be only a dog person. I didn't understand cats. And then this little calico came into my life in 2006 and has forever changed my world. And I love my little angel, Aquila. I love my other cat too, but Aquila has been with me a long time and has taught me a lot of things. And I see how we would do well to, I'm cracking myself up in my head here. Can you tell I'm smiling already? Well, we really would do well to follow her lead and other cats. Because let's think about it. If we're going to reflect the wholeness that we are, the wholeness of the holy, then we got to realize that we're worthy, right? It's about having deservability. This cat expects to be doted on 24/7. Like, she believes that you have entered the room just for her, and she will look up and let you know if you are welcome to approach, if it's time or not, or if she feels you should move on, peasant. And so she has this air of just, cats do, just have this air of worthiness and deservability that we could all use in our own lives, embodying in our own lives. They can't fathom not having their needs met. Like, it's just not, she looks at me sometimes like, do you think I'm a dog? I mean, I'm not going to wait. I need this now. I need what I need. Can't fathom that they won't have their needs met. And also, they think that it's normal for you. This is my thinking of what they're thinking, but I really do think that cats, especially this little calico of mine, thinks that it's completely normal for you to drop everything at any time to take care of their needs, desires, and wants. Now, I'm not saying that we need to be like spoiled little brats with the divine, but having this level of deservability and worthiness and expectancy of good, as Ernest Holmes said, from the divine. Seriously, Akila will come into the room, cry at me, do her little meow cry, which is different than a regular cry. It's a come here cry, and then run down the hall, and then keep doing that until I follow her and lay down on the bed so that she can get her pets. Now, I realize that I have bought into this human training, and I have allowed myself to be trained. But here they are. And they also, here's another thing, cats, they embrace leisure and ease. Wouldn't we do well to embrace these little gifts that the feline world is showing us, to realize that we're worthy of being doted on by the universe, right? That we are worthy of having our needs met, of having our desires answered and met, having this embodiment of leisure and ease, this deservability. I think we could do that more easily if we really, really let the words that Rita shared from Dr. Ernest Holmes, really, really let those sink in, that nothing can hinder the one that knows they are dealing from one power that creates all from itself. Nothing can hinder the one that knows that they're dealing with one power that creates all from itself. Nothing can hinder the one that knows that they're dealing with one power that creates everything out of itself. Nothing can hinder us when we really get in alignment with that. Then the other quote I loved from this morning's reading was that we realize that we are blessed heirs. We are living as God's blessed heirs, not errors, but heirs to the kingdom, right? The kingdom of God within. Yeah, let's breathe that in. And then, of course, we had Reverend Ned this morning sharing more wisdom from the Science of Mind teaching. I loved his analogy of the upside-down circle V. Remember, again, the circle V represents spirit moving through creative process, moving through us, through our belief, and into form. And he talked about how if he's ever off base, it's because he's gotten that upside down. And so I always like the example of someone, when they get it upside down, is someone saying, I'm broke, here, let me prove it to you. I'll show you my checkbook. Right? Looking at the conditions to prove a limited God instead of looking at an unlimited God to prove that conditions are temporary and can be changed. That what we are experiencing is yesterday's belief. So stop waiting to see what shows up so we can see what we believe is possible, and start realizing that whatever is showing up is just yesterday's belief. So if we want tomorrow's experience to be different, we turn that diagram right side up, and we recognize the wholeness of the holy moving through our experience based on our beliefs and into form. Yeah, and he also quoted Ernest Holmes in saying, we can only know as much spiritual truth as we can prove by actual demonstration. I love that he was just like, Ernest Holmes was like, don't believe me, go prove this stuff in your own life. That's why I love teaching so much, because I get to watch people prove it in their own lives. It is awesome to see what can happen in just a couple of months of class, when people really put their focus on what they can accomplish individually and what we can accomplish collectively, instead of, I keep using the money one for example because that's a big one for people. Instead of pulling out the checkbook to say, look, I'm broke, I'll prove it to you, We learn to go into this place of flipping that diagram the other way around and believing and trusting in the allness and the abundance of the divine and saying, wait a second, money is energy and energy is everywhere abundantly. So the only lack is a congestion. So therefore, I remove any congestion within me that has inhibited the free flow of life through me. I am that I am. That I am consciousness pouring through us. Anything that has blocked that in the form, in any form that has shown up in our finances or our relationships or our world at large, it's our work to do on the inside. Excuse me. And doing these, reframing these words, or as I say, flipping the script is so important. But as we talked about last week in class, we take that a step further when we don't just say the affirmations, right? When we move into what's called a mental equivalent. Getting a mental equivalent of something does some things for us. Two that are first and foremost in my mind that I believe are paramount. When we create a mental equivalent of what a desire looks like, where an intention will look like, then we are engaging the law of specificity. We're being very specific, and we're engaging our imagination, which is one of the most amazing tools that we have in co-creating our experience with the divine. So, for example, someone said, I would like a steady stream of clients. And I said, okay, well, what does that look like? Is that 10 clients a day? And she's like, no, not 10 clients a day. I don't remember what she said, but I think it was more like 10 clients a week. The point is, if we don't have a mental equivalent, then our words are lacking some of the oomph, some of the power that they could have. So a mental equivalent is going to be different to me than it is to you as to what prosperity looks like, as to what love looks like, as to what my purpose-driven life looks like. So it's different to each person. So it's important to get in touch with what is my mental equivalent so I can live from that, so I can engage that law of specificity, so I can engage my imagination, and I can stay fixed on that outcome. And remember, again, this works in our individual lives, but it's also part of the collective consciousness unfolding too. As we continue now in this new administration, we've got a new president in the White House. And now as we continue, right, we still have work to do. We still have lots of work to do. A lot of things have been exposed over the last 4 years. A lot of things have been brought out in the open. Top of that list is white supremacy and racial injustice, as well as plenty of other things. There's still lots and lots of things to do and lots of things dividing us as a country and as a world. So we still have work to do. And we can do that work with this spiritual work because it doesn't just apply to our individual lives. We take it out into the world. It matters and it changes how we interact with each other when we realize the importance of our own intentions and our own words. I remember when I first got into this teaching, all of a sudden I couldn't write a song. I was like, oh gosh. I had this new level of responsibility of what earworms I was putting into people's minds, right, with songs. And I couldn't write about, tear in my beer songs anymore because I didn't want to put that out there. So the same is true with our everyday lives, not just songwriting, but everyday lives. What are we putting out there, right? What are we putting out there? Are we reflecting the wholeness of the holy? Are we putting out there the love, the truth, and the holy? Are we putting out there the glory, the abundance, the love, and the goodness of God? Are we living from that and bringing that into our conversations, right? That's what's needed. That's what's needed. And another thing that we can do to supercharge this beautiful spiritual practice of the Science of Mind philosophy is use the tool of gratitude. Using that tool of gratitude, that'll help you with that complaint-free challenge that we're doing too, by the way, if you choose to join us. Moving into an intention to go 21 days without complaining. And if you catch yourself starting to complain, flip it to a gratitude, right? Like I said about my song, for the love of all that's holy. And I just switched it right in the middle of a rant, what was about to be a rant. So let's say you're moving through traffic and you are not happy about the congestion of traffic and you're about ready to go off. And where did you learn to drive? Instead of that, you catch yourself midstream and you go, where are you going today, brother and sister? I'm knowing that you are going to have a great day, whatever it takes, right? To catch yourself and move the energy. It sounds like a simple thing. It's not that simple and it's not always that easy, but it is that powerful. Because as we shift away from that knee-jerk reaction to life to complain about everything and move into instead gratitude. When we say thank you for something, we're saying thank you because somebody just gave us something, right? So when we say thank you for something, we are in the energy of having it. So when we force that, fake it till you make it kind of thing, force ourselves into being grateful for something in advance, we are owning the energy of it's already so. So instead of complaining about the boss, I can't believe that jerk, and he's probably going to pull me in today. Wow, I'm so grateful I have this job, and I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity to feed my family with this paycheck, or whatever the case may be, right? And then all of a sudden you're in a different vibration. You're in a different energy and alignment. You're in ownership with your life. You're in ownership with your life. So important that we understand our ownership with life, whether it's our spiritual community, the neighborhood we live in, our country. We're in co-creation, and we have the opportunity to be in ownership. I had this awesome opportunity last week to co-create something with Amy Steinberg and some other fantastic singers and musicians. And Amy had this idea to take Woody Guthrie's song and for us to sing it and her to make this video and put it out on Inauguration Day for This Land Is Your Land. And it was awesome. I loved doing it. But what I noticed when I was doing it, I used to sing this song as a kid. I loved it as a kid, but I don't think I've really sang that song since I was a kid. And here I was singing it from an adult perspective and from a singer's perspective who's been on tour all over the country. I've been to the Redwoods. I've been to New York City. I've been to these places, the Gulf Stream waters. I've been to the deserts. I've been to these places in this country that I'm now singing about. And all of a sudden it felt like, yes, I belong. I'm connected to. I'm responsible for. Right? I'm part of those that are responsible for this country. And it brought me into this new level of ownership. So that takes us back to the work still yet to do. For everyone who is extremely excited about how the election went, let's remember that there's still work to do. For everyone that is upset about how the election went, let's remember that there's work to do. And we are the ones to do it in every post, in every Facebook interaction, in every in-person interaction, and every family interaction. We are the ones to do it. It's important now that we it's always important, but it's important that we remain with our hearts open and not just discount people that are different, who believe differently. Just as passionately as we may believe one way, someone else may believe another. And it doesn't change the fact that we came from the one source that created life out of itself, and that we are connected in that, and that we are in this together. As Dr. Martin Luther King said, no matter what boat we came over on, we're all in the same one now, right? We have an opportunity to take a deeper level of responsibility and ownership and recognize that it's our job. It's our job. It's not the new president's job. It's not the new vice president's job. It's not their jobs. It's our jobs to dismantle racism. It's our jobs to take care of our environment. It's our jobs to bridge the gap, to be a bridge and not a bomb in our conversations, right? It's our job. We're all in this together. And we get the opportunity every single day to reflect the wholeness of the holy and to walk as a beautiful, blessed heir of the divine, which is what we are, and reflect that glory, abundance, love, and goodness of God in everything that we do. I tell you what, speaking of the inauguration, I had a wonderful day watching it. It was such a moving, beautiful thing. I think that anyone with an open heart and an open mind could have watched that, regardless of who they voted for, could have watched as things unfolded on Inauguration Day, and all the music and all the speeches and everything, and been moved. It was so beautiful. But the thing that stole the show for me, and I loved all of it. I loved Garth Brooks showing up, blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots to your black tie affair. Anyway, I loved all of it. But the one that stole the show was Amanda Gorman. Oh my gosh. Just turning 23 years old, the youngest national poet laureate that we've ever had. Oh my gosh. She stole the show. She was amazing. But I'm going to tell you something. Well, let me give you a snippet. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light. If only we are brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. If you didn't hear the speech, you need to look it up on YouTube. It is so fantastic. There's no way that I can do her justice because she's so passionate and poignant and powerful. But the thing that was even better to me than that speech was her interview later with Anderson Cooper. She was so genuine and real, and I just fell deeper in love with this woman. But what I learned in that interview is that she, Anderson Cooper, and President Biden all share, what did she call it? She said speech impediment, but she also said the language challenge group or something like that. But they all had to overcome some type of speech impediment. Now for her, she said up until just 2 or 3 years ago, she could not say the letter R. She said, think about that with me speaking a poem with the word rise in it 5 times. Couldn't say the letter R. I was sitting there listening for the rest of the interview. Every time she would say a word with an R in it, I was thinking, holy cow, that's a lot of R's. So in just 2 or 3 years ago, she could not say the letter R. And yet she was able to tap into something beyond any limitation and overcome it. She said she has a mantra that she speaks each and every time before she shares her work, and that is, I am the daughter of black writers. We are descendant from freedom fighters who broke their chains and changed the world. They call me. Wow. A mantra is something that we are repeating in our minds. What's your mantra? Is your mantra freeing you and allowing you to be a reflection of the goodness of the divine, and to really stand in your power and overcome any kind of limitation, seen or unseen? That's what we are given the opportunity to do. She showed us how to reflect. She showed us how to reflect this glory of God, in my opinion. Wow, did she show us. Just a few segments from the beautiful poem that she wrote, The Hill We Climb. She said, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? We've braved the belly of the beast. Quiet isn't always peace, and norms and notions of what just isn't always justice. We weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply isn't finished. Next time we get discouraged about our nation, about our family, about our own life, it's not finished. Don't quit. She went on to say, we lift our gaze not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. So keep looking, right? Keep looking. Keep your eyes fixed on the horizon, on that mental equivalent of what it is you're creating in your individual world and as a country and as a world. Next part, she said, if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy. Yes, let's let love become our legacy. She said, and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. Wow. Let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. You see, you're not alone here. We all are in this opportunity together to leave behind a world that was better than the one we were left, and to leave a legacy of love by reflecting the wholeness, the holiness of the divine that we are filled with and made from. I was on an interfaith panel for Martin Luther King Week with some ministers from Wofford College and some other folks down there, some faculty. And the clergy, those of us who were clergy, were asked, specific questions about what do you feel like you're doing to further Dr. King's message? What do you feel like your congregation is doing, your city, whatever? And we had lots of great ideas, and also always inspires me to realize I want to do more. And then, we brought it back at the end. We brought it back around to, with everything that we do, let it always come back to a radical reliance on God, because we're not, as Rumi said, we're not the doer. We're not out here doing on our own. At least we don't have to be. If we are, it's up here, because there is this divine power and presence moving through us and going out before us. Moving through us, going out before us and paving the way. And so we are in this with the divine first and foremost, and with one another. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light. If only we are brave enough to see it. If only we are brave enough to be it, to be that light, to be that reflection of wholeness, the glory, the abundance, the love, and the goodness of God. I'm so grateful for those people out there showing us so beautifully how to reflect the holiness of the holy. And I thank you for joining me in this work so that we can continue to be the change that we wish to see. Yes, yes, yes. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made with me.
Let's go.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me and in the skyway, I saw below me the golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Come on.
I roamed and rambled and followed my footsteps through the sparkling sands of a diamond desert, and all around me a voice was sounding.
You know, it said,
This land was made for you and me. Yeah, yeah. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Me and you, you and me and you. This land, this land.
oh, that song makes me cry every single time. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to be part of it. So kids, let's just a little recap for our kids from the message today. A couple of takeaways that hopefully you can take away. One is expect to be loved and to have your needs met, and know that you deserve it. You deserve having everything that you need and desire in this life. And you definitely deserve that. You're worthy of that, and that you can do and be and have anything that you want to achieve and have and do in this world, and you're not alone in doing it. That with God, all things are possible, okay? So remember that you can do anything, you can be anything. We have a woman as a vice president. This is so cool. All the little girls out there going, hey, I could be vice president, I could be president. We have people out there showing us that just because you have a speech impediment, you can't say the words as well as someone else right now. That could mean that you're going to overcome that and be able to speak as well as Amanda Gorman, or it could mean that it's going to give you another gift that you don't even know yet. But everything works together for your good. So just know that, and know that we love you. We see you, first of all. We hear you. We appreciate you, and we love you just the way that you are. Please join me in our conscious giving affirmation. Divine love moving through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the good in my life. And so for our offering song this morning, thanks to Miss Amy Steinberg, who put this together for us, we have a little something, a little surprise for you from our music team with the help of Amy Steinberg. let's get into that feeling of gratitude, shall we? Yes, it was so great to see those faces and hear those voices. I'm so excited at the thought of actually being in the same room and practicing, or just all of our fun, but also sharing with all of you music. It's amazing when we can do that in person. But this was such a treat. So thank you again, Amy Steinberg. Thank you, Morgan, Sauda, Brenda, and Gina, for joining me in creating that for everyone. So what I know is that right here, right now, we bless this offering with such gratitude. Thank you, God, for each and every person giving a financial gift to the Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening. We are so grateful. We're so grateful. And what I know for each and every person, that as we give, we receive. So as we give of our time, of our talent, of our money, of our love, I know that it returns to us multiplied abundantly. And so I just say thank you for the blessing and for being blessed and being a blessing for each of us, proving our faith in an inexhaustible supply. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this day and for each and every person that participated in this service. Thank you, God. I release these words, and so it is. Please join me in our closing song. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy, we let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace, we let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love, we let the love wash over us. We let it be. We love you, we bless you, and we thank you. Join me this week on Wednesday at noon for our midweek prayer lift on Facebook Live, and stay tuned for the announcements in case you missed it earlier. Have a great week, y'all.